Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 388 based on novel. So let's start. Boom. The dark aura continued to emerge, and sometimes between the rocks on the cliffs of the Xiao Yan cliff, they condensed into extremely ferocious monsters that ran rampant, but after a while, they would also be attacked by the Xiao Yan. The green demon aura of domineering power in the cliff was washed away and extinguished. The two came one after another, and it seemed that there was some kind of wonderful restrictive relationship. And this kind of strange restriction shows a trace of mystery and evil. It seems that this place is really the suppression prison. Black Devil Dragon Wolf. At this time, Xiao Yan borrowed a trace of dark power from the dark underworld, and suddenly his entire body was like a bat, swimming silently on the cliff of the evil moon, trying to find the 10,000 demon king waiting for the breath of others, the corner of his mouth underestimated. However, Xiao Yan was surprised to find that the breath and movement traces of the 10,000 demon kings were wiped cleanly, and the size of the evil moon cliff was far beyond his imagination. Who? Get out of this, king. After Shurenshi, just as Xiao Yan had just crossed a prismatic rock block, a furious voice came from not far behind him. The demon king in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals? Xiao Yan heard the words. The power of darkness on his body was completely shattered by this roar, and immediately his body stood up slightly, and his eyes looked at the big guy in front of him, his head covered with black lines for a while. The demon king in the middle stage of the 8-star fighting immortals, the Snow Lord of Tianying, is dressed in snow-white armor. Whether it is hair or eyebrows, it is full of extreme snow-white, which makes people involuntarily palpitate. This guy is good at flying, suitable for high-altitude combat, and the power of the middle stage of the 8-star Dozian has given him a very strong depression. Obviously, this guy's combat power is probably extremely terrifying. Forget it, there's no point in wasting time here, I'm just here to find someone. Xiao Yan shook his head lightly, and the flames all over his body immediately vented out, paving the way under his feet, increasing his speed to a higher level. With the increase in the explosive technique, Xiao Yan was about to leave, but this guy couldn't stop him. Where to run? Tianying Snowlord didn't want to kill Xiao Yan at first. He had noticed Xiao Yan's breath since Xiao Yan entered here, but he has always been curious, a little guy in the middle stage of 7-star fighting immortals. How can you have such terrifying courage to enter here? If it is said that he is the savior of WN Yarawang and others, then Tianying Snowlord will naturally not believe it. After all, this guy's strength is too low, and he can ignore it in his own eyes. Now that he had just exposed Xiao Yan, he ran away, which strengthened the speculation in Tianying Snowlord's heart. This guy has a ghost in his heart. Otherwise, how can you run away when you see yourself? Crash. In the dark rock space, there were ravines and ravines, but behind Tianying Snowlord, a rather icy moonwhite feather slowly rose and emerged behind his arms. With pieces of snow-white feathers, they blasted away at the location where Xiao Yan escaped. Boom. The snow-white feathers touched the surrounding rocks, and a deafening sound spread out with violent energy ripples. For a while, countless dust and terrifying energy fluctuations caused the entire void to tremble slightly. This lunatic. Xiao Yan just ran for a while, and found that the road in front of him was completely blocked by rocks, so the Snow Lord Tianying, who was chasing after him, became more and more terrifying, and the attack power was quite strange. Fighting Soul. Holy Flame. Soul Power. Xiao Yan shouted softly. Immediately, the shadow of the fighting soul appeared, and even the invisible soul slowly paved the way, ready to meet this guy's attack. But Xiao Yan knew in his heart that his top priority was definitely not to obliterate the Demon King, but to get out as soon as possible, to find the leader of the guards, to find the black evil dragon and wolf, so as to solve the pattern of the demon world. Even if Xiao Yan has the Devil's Cube in a full state, he has no confidence in winning. After all, these two guys are the elites of the Demon Emperor's subordinates. They accompany him from birth to death, and their fighting power can be described as suffocating. Boom. What are you running for? Who the ***** are you? In an instant, the body of Tianying Snowlord appeared behind Xiao Yan like a ghost. At this time, Xiao Yan was blocked by a rock. This kind of strange rock contained a monstrous evil aura. Even if it was with the power of Holy Flame, it also takes a lot of time. Who am I, don't you know? Xiao Yan smiled with interest. The extremely dazzling flame in his body slowly contained a terrifying killer move. Since I didn't waste time, I could only escape quickly, and with the news of the spirit of the demon book, the atmosphere here is extremely strange. It seems that the two guys in the demon suppression prison may break out at any time. Boom. A circle of amber flames erupted from Xiao Yang's body like a turbulent wave, and immediately slapped the surrounding evil rocks, forming a flame creature, surrounding Xiao Yang, staring at the sky vigilantly. Eagle Snow Lord. Interesting guy. Tianying Snow Master sneered, and the temperature in this area suddenly dropped, and snow-white prismatic snowflakes slowly drifted away. This guy's power is so terrifying. Seeing these bland snowflakes made Xiao Yang's heart spin involuntarily, and he knew the terrifying power contained in them. Soul power. Boom. Without any hesitation, the dazzling soul power roared with the flame creature in front of him, blasting away at the Tianying Snow Lord, causing fluctuations along the way, and a trace of cracks appeared. Crash. Several completely different forces touched together, and the terrifying power that erupted turned this place into dust, and suddenly a bronze gate covered with countless green monster patterns appeared not far from the two of them. This is the entrance to Demon Suppression Prison. Before the aftermath of the battle had completely calmed down, Xiao Yang stared at this giant gate and smelled a hint of evil from it. Boy, where are you running? Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance, Tianying Snow Master murmured, and countless snowflakes attacked Xiao Yang with cold killing intent. I don't have time to play with you. Try this. Xiao Yang's face was pale, a pale yellow fire lotus condensed out of his hand, and immediately threw it at the latter. What is this? When the pale yellow fire lotus appeared, the snowflakes around Snow Master Tianying burst out with an aura of extreme fear, trembling. Boom. Although the fire lotus condensed from the immortal flame is not as powerful as the Buddha's wrath samsara, it is better than the immortal flame's blessing, immortal, enough to buy Xiao Yang some time. Damn. Can't open it. With the help of the time bought by Huolian, Xiao Yang flashed and came to the door of Demon Suppression Prison. After some inquiries, he said helplessly, Cut. This monster pattern was set up by the reincarnation powerhouse. How can you open it? Go here. In the blink of an eye, the spirit of the demon book in the shape of a guinea pig strung out from Xiao Yi's sleeves and walked towards a crack in the rock on the edge of the giant bronze gate. There was a faint demonic aura, as well as a scarlet aura, and it was obvious that someone had entered it before them. This is the breath of the 10,000 Demon King. You can't go wrong. Let's go. Xiao Yang grabbed the faint demonic aura in front of him with one hand, and after careful identification, his whole body turned into a wisp of black smoke, streaking into the Demon Suppression Prison. No way. This kid has entered the Demon Suppression Prison. Isn't that a dead end? The outside world resolved all Xiao Yang's attacks, and Snow Master Tianying could only shake his head. Obviously, he underestimated Xiao Yang's strength. However, when Xiao Yang entered the Demon Suppression Prison, he naturally would not pursue him deeply. Because he didn't want to die. There are 2 White King-level powerhouses in the Water and Fire Evil Cage Town, and they do not have the complete strength of the 8-star fighting immortals. If they enter it, they will only die in vain. Boom. Xiao Yang's body lightly touched the small gap, and his entire body was involuntarily sucked into it, like an unusually hideous devil's cave, trembling frantically, absorbing Xiao Yang's body and leaning inward. The extreme suction left Xiao Yang helpless and could only forcibly endure the invasion of this terrifying force, so he went to the Demon Suppression Prison. In just a few breaths, Xiao Yang's body entered the 8th-ranked cage of water and fire through the gap. Tear it. Just after entering here, Xiao Yang's body was suspended in the sky, looking at this evil space. An overwhelming evil aura, like a tide, completely filled the entire void. And in that evil aura, there is even a trace of extremely hot and cold aura. The place where Xiao Yang is now is probably the edge of the Demon Suppression Prison. There is no life here. There are only monstrous evil spirits of dark power. At this time, Xiao Yang stood at the bottom of the sky, and the evil auras slowly entangled together, slowly forming a series of rather ferocious and evil ghosts. 1 head and 2 heads. They quietly crawl on the barren ground, constantly nibbling away the only bones left on the ground, and even the attractive black luster on the professional ghost, revealing some kind of seductive spirit. Terrorist force. What a strange cage of water, fire, and evil. Xiao Yang raised his brows and spread out his soul power. He tried to find the aura of the 10,000 Demon King by means of this method. It is impossible to move an inch, as if it was solidified and fixed on the void by countless evil breaths, unable to move. With a sound, it seemed that Xiao Yang's figure had been discovered. Among the many shadows below, a giant python with demonic energy rose into the air. The invisible and colorless soul power released by Xiao Yang devoured it, and immediately walked around, preparing to escape. Die. Seeing this sudden scene, Xiao Yang raised his palm, and a scorching flame appeared, and then easily wrapped around the devilish giant python, which was instantly evaporated into dust and dissipated in the void. As expected, it is the Devil's Suppression Prison that can be ranked 8th. In this kind of scene, if the strength is not enough for the 7-star fighting immortals, I am afraid that I will be buried here. Seeing this, Xiao Yang shook his head powerlessly. On this barren land, he did not know. There are so many bones and ghosts, they are quietly lurking. Once there is an intruder, they will emerge when the intruder is lost and devour it. The huge amount contained in this demon suppression prison is far beyond Xiao Yang's imagination, and the evil aura is definitely not something he can slaughter. However, Xiao Yang was a little puzzled, because every time he used the demonic power in his body, he would use up the power of the demonic cube to avoid being attacked. If the demonic cube could absorb the power of evil, the demon suppression prison would be filled with demons by Xiao Yang in the future. Best place for Rubik's Cube. I came out to work. After sighing, his voice raised a sibilant, and Xiao Yang snorted coldly. Hey, what are you doing? Startled by Xiao Yang's voice, the guinea pig appearance transformed by the spirit of the demon book was directly repelled from Xiao Yang's body, entrenched in the air, and the guinea pig looked down. The dense black the shadow composed of liquid makes him feel disgusted. Help me find the myriad demon king. Xiao Yang said softly. As he spoke, an amber-colored holy flame emerged from his body, staring at the many evil ghosts below. You look down on me too much, I'm just a little demon spirit. The guinea pig said with dissatisfaction. If that's the case, then it's useless for me to keep you, let's go. A sneer suddenly appeared on Xiao Yang's face, and he immediately grabbed the mouse's tail and flicked it gently. Place to throw away. The dense density of the dense black pressure, I am afraid that it will be completely swallowed up in an instant and become bloody. Don't. I'm looking for it, don't. Hearing the words, the little white rat shook violently and roared, it has no power in itself, if it is thrown down by Xiao Yang like this, it will only die. That's not right. Xiao Yang's sneer turned into a soft smile after listening to the mouse's opening, and his body appeared below where it fell, and caught the latter with one hand. You're a bad guy. Okay, don't talk nonsense. Xiao Yang rolled his eyes and said, if it wasn't for his soul power being damaged, in order to hide the aura of holy flame, Xiao Yang would not let this guy take action. With a sound, a superpower that surpassed the sky and the earth emerged from the little white mouse, and along with it, there were also the demon books that flashed countless strange demons. It seemed that there was something between the two. A special connection. An unusually dazzling green arc of light flashed above the sky, as if illuminating this barren land. Suddenly, countless ghosts below suddenly became restless. The insatiable greed of the show is no doubt. Go away. Just when these ghosts came to the mouse's body 100 meters, a cold roar, with a touch of holy flame's exclusive power, swept out. Boom. Attacked by such a violent roar, some of the weak shadows were shattered directly by it, and the remaining shadows also looked at each other for a while, and after hesitation, they hibernated quietly. I found their location. After Shun breathed, the little white mouse muttered with strange eyes, obviously because of Xiao Yang's previous calculations, he was dissatisfied. What is this? Before Xiao Yang could speak, a white feather slowly flickered on the demon book of the guinea pig, apparently collected by the demon book. On the feathers, it is extremely white, and even contains a touch of divine aura, but at this time, there is a faint trace of blood on the white feathers, which seems to be from a guy who was seriously injured. Fell off. This is the angel wings of the demon of light. What the is going on here? At this moment, Feather was just in the palm of his hand, and a sense of familiarity emerged from Xiao Yang's heart, and even an extremely horrified expression filled Xiao Yang's face. The breath of the demon of light, Xiao Yang was already very clear and familiar with it when he was in Li Soul territory. How could he find her angel wings in the water, fire, and evil cage to suppress the devil now? Does this mean that the demon of light is in the demon suppression prison at this time? Maybe the demon of light has been here? Various questions plagued Xiao Yang. It seems that this time, there is a good show to watch. Let's go, I'll take you to, but I'll tell you clearly, there are terrifying guys who touch reincarnation, and there are even more terrifying things than the two white kings, but that kind of powerhouse is beyond I know. The guinea pig said slightly. It was originally the spirit of the demon book, and the demon book in the demon world is like a book of heaven that knows all things. As for this guy, although he has no fighting power, he is like a prophet and knows many things in the demon world. Do you touch samsara? Is it even more powerful than the two white kings? Hearing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help but clench his fists. The devil's cube in his body was also affected by it, and it became surging, a proud monstrosity. Breath, diffuse out. Go. With a roar, The two of them went towards the depths of the demon suppression prison at the same time. At this moment, the always quiet demon suppression prison became lively because of the arrival of the demon king of 10,000 demons, Xiao Yan, and others. And in the depths of the town demon prison, there are also uninvited guests. These guys are like soul palaces. What an evil place. In the cage of water, fire, and evil, the three demon kings, the king of 10,000 demons, carried two leaders of the guards who had fallen into a coma, and walked slowly in it. The purpose was naturally to avoid the blood demons. King's pursuit. Even if there are three of them, but now all three are seriously injured, the three of them are not necessarily the opponents of the blood demon king, let alone protect the two leaders of the guards who fell into a coma. These two guys are also seriously injured. I hope nothing happens. The rhinoceros demon king said helplessly, as if relying on instinct. He clearly noticed that the life breath of the two guards' leaders had slowly passed. It's just that none of the three of them can heal, and they didn't even carry the healing medicine, so they could only temporarily solve the Blood Demon King, thinking of other ways. I'll stop the Blood Demon King in a while, you take them out of here early. The rest is up to you. This is also our last hope. After Shurenshi, the WN Yarawang said to the two of them, and there was a trace of calm relief in his voice. Don't say such depressing words. The Earth Rhinoceros Demon King tried to comfort him. Boom. In an instant, the entire gloomy and evil corner of the demon suppression prison was suddenly violent, and countless evil auras fell from the sky like raindrops. At this time, a sturdy man with scarlet eyes and scarlet blood surrounded by aura, the corner of his mouth. He stared at them with a frenzied smile on his face. That kind of feeling is like being watched by the of death. He's still here. Well, here it is. Let us join forces once, since the demon world fought apart, but we haven't joined forces to fight against the enemy for a long time. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay. The 10,000 Demon King and the 10,000 Flower Demon King talked at the same time. After speaking, the two suddenly shook their bodies, and handed one of the unconscious leaders into the hands of the Earth Rhinoceros Demon King. The dark green light swept out of the sky, and the countless evil forces around him were shaken back hundreds of miles. Run! Why didn't you run? The Blood Demon King stood above the void, looking at the two Demon Kings who came to die in front of him, his voice extremely ferocious. It's okay to be your cemetery here. Do you think so? WN Yarawang said coldly, with a monstrous killing intent in his voice. Blood River Giant Ape. Seeing the little tricks of the two in front of him, the Blood Demon King disapproved and roared, the ***** aura all over his body vented out, and in an instant he formed an extremely ferocious and terrifying huge creature in front of him. That's an ape. The ape's body was surrounded by countless dark red bloodstains, his eyes flickered with a strong bloodthirsty smell, and his fists were filled with an extremely terrifying depression. Obviously, both defensive and offensive power were extremely tyrannical. Wanhua Demon Fruit. Seeing this, the Wanhua Demon King didn't take it lightly. The slender jade hand stretched out, bursting out with green breaths full of vitality, and immediately formed a green forest area around the two. The strong breath of life greatly improved the injuries on the two of them. At the same time, a bunch of vines with tyrannical vitality was wrapped up to form a green fruit with a size of dozens of meters. It appeared behind the two of them, as if the fruit contained some kind of mysterious creature. 10,000 Demon Puppets. Seeing this, the 10,000 Demon King smiled with relief, and immediately waved his sleeves, and a figure exactly like himself swept away at the Blood Demon King. Bang bang bang. Seeing this, the Blood Demon King clenched his fists, raised his hands, and slammed away with punches and kicks. Rao was so terrified by the Blood Demon King's melee combat. This puppet didn't have any scars on its body. It still launched a terrifying attack on it. For the sharpest attack, every move turned out to be vaguely restraining the Blood Demon King. Go away. It seemed that he was provoked by this puppet, and the demonic energy spread from the Blood Demon King's body, knocking him back in one fell swoop. Boom. With a sound, the eyes of the fierce ape in front of him erupted with awe-inspiring violence, then he pulled up his footsteps and stomped towards the latter. Go away. Myriad Demons Mysterious Soul Palm. Seeing such a terrifying footstep, the 10,000 Demon King gently pushed the delicate body of the 10,000 Flower Demon King, and immediately a bright green light flashed on his palm. A jump, the palm and the kick hit together in an instant. Boom. A wave of terrifying energy ripples spread out from the place where the two were fighting, and with this level of attack, the entire demon suppression prison trembled slightly, as if the demon suppression prison was deep. The two White Kings were also aware of it, but at this time they were bound by countless restrictions and could not move. Sir, Are we just waiting? At this moment, under a barren land below, a mighty team stayed here quietly, watching the appalling battle above the sky, and couldn't help muttering. Hee hee, what's the hurry? The good show is still over. The leader smiled grimly, and immediately took off the hat on top of the black robe. Xu Xiao. This guy is actually the long-disappeared Huangtang Hall Master of the Soul Palace. Hall Master, what is our purpose? Seeing Xu Xiao's actions like this, a group of strong people around him couldn't help but ask. There are about 20 strong people around, many of them are strong in the Soul Hall, and there are also monsters and monsters, but without exception, they are all at the level of 7-star fighting immortals. Don't worry. Our purpose is not just the 2 white kings. The deepest Red King's palace, our palace master has been coveted for a long time. The voice fell, and the situation was recovering here, but obviously this guy came prepared. Boom. The battle above the sky is still going on, and every attack will bring shocking energy ripples, shaking the barren void in this demon suppression prison. This is not the way to go. 10,000 Demon Vine. The Demon King of 10,000 Flowers displayed a demon vine with sealing power in dew, but there was no obstruction to the Blood Demon King. On the other hand, the power of the 2 is now close to dying. Is it the end of the road? Then die. Seeing that the breath of the 2 in front of him became weaker and weaker, the Blood Demon King snorted coldly, and the violent ape also calmed down, but the scarlet blood flowed along the Blood Demon King. The body is injected into the violent ape. After a while, the body of the blood-colored ape suddenly swelled to an area of 1,000 meters, and the power in its body was like a blood sphere that could explode at any time. Die. After doing all this, the Blood Demon King looked crazy, and patted the 2 of them with his palms heavily. A wave of depression and death filled their hearts. Damn. I've been locked by him, and I can't move. The Demon King of 10,000 Flowers and the Demon King of 10,000 Flowers shook their heads weakly. Even if you die, you can't take this guy cheap. Come on, let's defend the immortal will of the Master. The 2 looked at each other, and immediately their bodies began to burn. The originally dying breath contained a terrifying luster like the sun. Demon Emperor. And just as the 2 were about to burn their lives, a gentle flame enveloped the 2 of them, suppressing that extreme impulse, and instead a majestic voice above the sky, accompanied by a green sky-high giant, emerged from the 2 of them. It was a rather soft old man's shadow, but its body covered 1,000 feet. Above the body, a trace of green flames burned violently, and its eyes contained a touch of unparalleled majesty. That's the Demon King. It is a generation of Tianjiao with a lofty status in the demon world and an extremely amazing combat power. Wang buzzing. A strange buzzing sound emanated from the green giant, and vaguely, the Blood Demon King couldn't help but feel a sense of adoration. Demon Emperor Tianxiang? How is that possible? At this moment, the Blood Demon King's eyes flashed with a look of extreme shock, and then he saw his tyrannical and violent ape, slowly rushing towards it. With a sound, the monster emperor's huge body suddenly and slowly twisted as if it had life. With the help of the green flame on the body, he raised his hands at the same time to shoot at the violent ape. Boom! With a sound, the seemingly tyrannical ape was instantly slapped by the palms wrapped in green flames and vanish. One strike. With just one blow, he instantly disintegrated the strongest blow of his late-stage 8-star fighting immortals. This is the Demon Emperor, the most powerful person in the ancient demon world who could single-handedly stop the White Kings of the extraterritorial evil clan. Even if he is as strong as a Blood Demon King, in front of such a strong man, he can only respectfully call out a Demon King. Strength doesn't mean everything. This sentence is most vividly reflected in the Demon Emperor. Who is it? Who the is it? After a while, the Blood Demon King's violent eyes shrank tightly, his eyes swayed around, trying to find the ultimate murderer and tear him to pieces. No need to look for it. At this time, a black-shirted man wrapped in amber flames slowly stepped out of the void, smiling slightly at the corner of his mouth. Who are you? Middle stage of the 7 stars fighting immortals? The Blood Demon King said in disbelief. Nothing is impossible. Xiao Yang said calmly. Even today's Xiao Yang can smell the aura that surpasses him from the Blood Demon King in front of him. That is the murderous aura that can only be possessed by a battle-hardened true powerhouse. Xiao Yang. Looking at Xiao Yang's figure in the distance, the Demon King couldn't help roaring violently. It seems that your subordinates also have an amazing guy. The Demon King of 1,000 Flowers nodded lightly. Little chops. It's a good thing for me, let this king die. Seeing Xiao Yang's disgusting expression, the Blood Demon King roared, his palms suddenly raised, and he slapped violently at Xiao Yang's place. Strong attack. If you continue like this, you may be completely destroyed by this blow. At this moment, the little guinea pig surprisingly did not enter Xiao Yang's body, and stood on Xiao Yang's shoulder in a deep voice. Yeah, but there is no other choice, isn't it? Xiao Yang smiled lightly, and the smile on the corner of his mouth instantly solidified, and the boundless killing intent spread out. Fire explosion. Dragon God's first change, second change, third change. Fighting soul. Immortal armor, defense armor. He used 4 methods in a row, trying to resist the blood-colored giant palm. Bang bang bang. The blood-colored giant palm came slowly towards Xiao Yang with the exclusive power of the late-stage 8-star Dozian. The monstrous blood-colored storm and countless Cs caused along the way put Xiao Yang in a real hell. Among them, this level of power is enough to make Xiao Yang feel the breath of death at 0 distance. Bang bang bang. With a sound, the attack came instantly. Xiao Yang only felt that his body was dragged into a unique space, and he was executed and judged. Boom. The deafening voice resounded in his ears. Xiao Yang only felt that the corners of his eyes suddenly became heavy, and he wanted to gently close his eyes to try his best to make himself comfortable. That's it. Is it over? The aura around Xiao Yang completely replaced his vindictive energy and flames, as if he would be completely submerged in this blow in the next moment. Devil, transform. Xiao Yang said softly as if he didn't want to use this energy. At the same time, the demon cube in his body jumped happily like a very excited child, and the cube instantly enlarged. Circles of extremely evil demonic energy ripples, centered on the soul realm, completely vented towards Xiao Yang's body. At the same time, Xiao Yang's deep demon bloodline, which had been suppressed and hidden, erupted uncontrollably like bamboo shoots after a rain. You've done a great job, little one. Let these shameless people see the power of our Xiao family. Let them echo the fear of being dominated in the ancient times. Just as the demon blood was about to emerge, a loving old voice slowly exploded in Xiao Yang's mind. Although the voice is extremely old, Xiao Yang has no doubts about the supreme power behind this voice. That power is definitely not comparable to reincarnation, and it can even be said unceremoniously, that kind of power seems to have surpassed reincarnation, reaching a brand new state of supremacy. That voice slowly flickered out from Xiao Yang's forehead when Xiao Yang suffered a great change. At the same time, the originally extremely fanatical demon blood and demon cube did not dare to have any disobedience, and quietly crawled. Be quiet. What's wrong? What kind of power is this? The scarlet sea of blood rolled around violently, the blood-colored storm and the sound of scarlet blood roared away at Xiao Yang, but when it approached Xiao Yang's body, it suddenly stopped. On Xiao Yang's forehead, there was a gleam of white light, and at the same time, a trace of ancient lines from the past and the present slowly appeared on Xiao Yang's forehead. Under the light of the white halo, it was extremely sacred. That is the power of the Xiao family's clan lines. This guy is actually a descendant of Xiao Yang. Xiao clan Xiao Yang. No wonder. At this moment, the Demon King of 10,000 Flowers and the Demon King of 10,000 Flowers spoke in shock at the same time. Impossible. The Xiao family has not been completely destroyed. How can there be descendants? How is it possible to have the most orthodox bloodline of the Xiao family? How is it possible to have the power of clan marks? At this moment, the original arrogance of the Blood Demon King disappeared completely, and thick clouds of blood wrapped around his body, and he did not care about the 10,000 demon kings. The speed skyrocketed, and it flew towards the edge of the town demon prison. Those who disobey the Xiao clan deserve to be killed. An old voice, like a loving old man, emanated from Xiao Yang's forehead, and an extremely terrifying wave suddenly swept out. Hey! After the breath, Xiao Yang's slightly closed eyes and eyebrows, a trace of white energy, gently swept out. After a while, like a world-annihilating beam, shaking violently, it instantly turned into a very gentle white. The arc of light whizzed away towards the Blood Demon King's escape route. Impossible! At this moment, the Blood Demon King's pupils shrank violently, and his body instantly solidified. At this moment, he was easily pierced by this white light arc. Bang bang bang. After the white arc of light pierced through the Blood Demon King, it exploded directly, not giving the Blood Demon King any chance to react. In the blink of an eye, the Blood Demon King at the late stage of the 8-star fighting immortals was wiped out by the power of Xiao Yang's clan pattern. At this time, Xiao Yang seemed to have entered some kind of special meditation, and he didn't know what happened, but he could clearly feel that the crisis outside had been lifted, and even when the power of the clan lines burst out, the blood of the Xiao clan in his body completely boiled up. At this time, a white light arc stood silently between Xiao Yang's eyebrows, and the light arc completely filled the eyebrows above Xiao Yang's eyes. That arc of light outlines countless white lines, like the meticulous carving of a god's residence, pushing Xiao Yang's breath to a real peak, and it seems to have been standing upright, slowly closing, and even disappearing. It's just that the old voice that just emerged from this clan's pattern is unshakable like a god's mansion that surpasses the great world. Wang Om. At this moment, the sky and the earth changed color, and countless dark and evil auras fled quickly. They were afraid of the supreme aura that just emerged from Xiao Yang. This guy is really hidden. Seeing Xiao Yang's sluggish appearance, the 10,000 Demon King smiled comfortably, and raised an aura of respect for Xiao Yang from the bottom of his heart. This guy is actually one of the only remaining descendants of the Xiao clan, but he doesn't know why he came to our demon world. The Demon King of Thousand Flowers also revealed a rather indifferent smile. Now that the crisis has been resolved, naturally there is no need to worry about it. But all of this was obviously unexpected. The Xiao family has a very deep relationship with Lord Monster Emperor. I'm afraid this guy is here for Lord Monster Emperor. After all, Lord Haisha Longlang has secretly left the monster world once before. Based on my guess, I'm afraid it has something to do with this guy. Wan Yarowang smiled. You mean? The Wanhua Demon King heard the words and suddenly said, "Let's talk about it later. You go to the Earth Rhinoceros Demon King, I will guard him, so that these invisible ghosts will not make trouble." The 10,000 Demon King laughed. Okay. The two hit it off and immediately split up. Skyrim, Xiao Yang was still in that special situation of entering into a state, and he didn't know what he was doing. Who? After about 10 minutes, Xiao Yang's body suddenly moved, gasping for breath, his pupils filled with an unbelievable look. Master Wan Yarowang? Xiao Yang glanced at him and muttered. You kid, you really hide it. Seeing Xiao Yang wake up, the Demon King hurriedly approached him and smiled. What happened just now? Xiao Yang asked while looking at the figure of the Blood Demon King disappearing in front of him, scratching his head. It seems that when I was just about to perform demonization, there was an extremely ancient voice in my body. The source of the sound seemed to be in my own clan lines, but what happened after that, I can't remember clearly. Don't you remember? Wan Yarowang seemed to have noticed something and asked Wei. I don't remember. What about the Blood Demon King? Xiao Yang asked in confusion. You're a human being in the human world, right? The 10,000 Demon King ignored Xiao Yang's question and asked himself. Xiao Yang nodded lightly. When you entered the demon world, did you see Lord Haisha Longlang? Yes, but at that time, he only had the initial strength of 8-star Dozian. The Master is the Commander-in-Chief of the demon world. He secretly left the demon world alone. In addition, he must separate a trace of his origin to shock the other two powerhouses, so his strength is naturally weak, but the Master's strength is a genuine 8-star Doshen perfection. There are very few people who know this. Then let me make a bold guess. You came to the demon world to help the Black Dragon Wolf, or the Demon Emperor. The two talked intermittently. Being asked this, Xiao Yang suddenly raised his head and looked at the Wan Yarrow King vigilantly. Don't get me wrong, I have no other intentions. Wan Yarowang hurriedly explained. Not to mention, the fact that Guang Xiaoyan and Lord Haisha Longlang are close friends is enough to be on an equal footing with him, not to mention that Xiao Yang is still a descendant of Xiao Yang. With the blessing of multiple identities, he directly dumps himself a few. Street. Yes. At the beginning, I promised Haishan Longlang to come to the demon world to see if he could lift the seal of the Demon Emperor. He agreed that he would come to meet me. Later, when I entered the demon world, no one responded, so I came to the edge of the 10,000 Demon Kingdom. Such things happened. Xiao Yang couldn't help but said with black lines all over his head. My subordinate, meet Sir Xiao Yang. At this moment, the Wan Yarowang bowed heavily to the void, and performed the highest etiquette for Xiao Yang that belonged to the demon world. Sir, this is, Boy He De He Neng, please get up quickly. Xiao Yang hurried over to help him. Hey, it's worth it. The Demon King pretended to be mysterious. The two were quiet for a while, each recovering the Dookie and demonic energy in their bodies, and then the other two Demon Kings arrived slowly. Sir. The Earth Rhinoceros Demon King said respectfully to Xiao Yang, and it was obvious that the 10,000 Flower Demon King had a lot of good things about Xiao Yang along the way. What? At this moment, Xiao Yang was completely stunned. These three guys are the top leaders in the demon world. What the **** is going on? Okay, don't waste time. This is the inside of the demon suppression prison and it is not suitable to stay for a long time. Let's leave as soon as possible. The demon king urged. After all, if the two white kings broke out, they would not be able to resist. I'm afraid it's too late. These two leaders of the guards have suffered severe wounds, and they must be expelled as soon as possible, otherwise. At this time, Xiao Yan frowned, grasping the veins of the two faint and charming hands, and said solemnly, "That feeling seems to be that these two guys were seriously injured first and then poisoned, which can be described as extremely tragic. Sir, do you have a solution?" Listening to Xiao Yang's voice, the demon king of 10,000 demons laughed. Now that the crisis is over, it is imperative to rescue the two guard leaders. Once they wake up, they will be able to know the location of Lord Haisha Longlang, and at that time, everything will be easy. I have holy flame. I can try it. After thinking about it, Xiao Yang had no other choice, so he could only pretend to be tough. Now that the war is raging in the outside world, even if you leave the demon suppression prison, the situation will not be much better. It is better to fight to see if you can save the two. Okay. Everything is up to Sir Xiao Yang. After the three of them finished speaking, they each stood on guard for Xiao Yang. I have no choice but to use the stupidest method. The two adults endure it. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, the source of the holy flame of amber rock soul fire emerged, and then gently moved towards his body. Cece. Even if they were unconscious, the piercing pain still caused them to make a sound like an instinctive growl, and the holy flames entered the body and burned the bones to slowly force out the venom. This is the only way now. The two leaders of the guards in the late stage of the 8-star fighting immortals can beat these two people so miserably. I am afraid that their minimum strength is the 8-star fighting immortals complete, even reincarnation. While expelling, Xiao Yang was also slightly surprised. Black. Dragon wolf. Lord. Water and fire evil cage. Deep. Heaven. Feather. The last drop of toxin was forced out, and one of the leaders spoke with a firm will, and immediately passed into a coma. The toxins are eliminated, and they are seriously injured. I am afraid that they will need a lot of coma time to recuperate, but it is not a big problem. And as the intermittent voice fell, the eyes of the four people also became deep invariably. What I didn't want to face, it still happened after all. In the depths of the demon prison town, where there are two White King-level aliens, their power is unquestionably tyrannical, and this is their home court. After countless years of seals, whether their power is increasing, everything is unknown. Boy, are you alright? This video will end here.